Cette réunion du 13
This
septembre.
meeting of September the 13th, 2021. So we will proceed first of all with our welcome word. Dear colleagues, let's have the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. First item is call to order. It's done. Confirmation of quorum. It is confirmed. Conflict of interest, if any. No conflict of interest have been declared. Let's go to the adoption of the agenda. Move a motion, please. Moved by Mr. Turgeon-Roy, seconded by Councillor Lanteigne. On the question. No question. All those in favor of the resolution say yes. Contrary minded, nay. The resolution is carried as presented. Before we proceed any further, I would like to take this opportunity that is given to us this evening to thank the outgoing councillors, the former members of the council of the municipal council. I would like to call them one by one to give them an acknowledgement certificate for the recognition by the city of Dieppe for your work of many years in all cases, and to show our appreciation for your work. I will come forward, if I may.
Ordre spécifique, mais ça commence avec le conseiller Ted Gaudet.
It starts with Councillor Ted Gaudet. In no special order, I will read the first certificate. They're all the same in recognition for the years for which you've seated as a council members from 1998 to 2001 and then from 2016 to 2021. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jean-Claude Cormier.
Je vais le lire en
I
reconnaissance.
will read it in recognition for the years for which you've seated as a council member from 212 to 221. Thank you very much, Mr. Cormier.
Patricia Arsenault.
Miss Patricia Arsenault.
Patricia Arsenault, en reconnaissance.
Arsenault, in recognition for the years for which you've seated the council from 2016 to 2021.
Monsieur Roger Leblanc.
Mr. Roger Leblanc.
Monsieur Leblanc, reconnaissance.
In acknowledgement of the years where you sat at the council as a council member from 2008 to 2021. Thank you.
Merci bien.
Thank you very much.
Encore une fois, merci à vous deux.
Once again, thank you to the four of you. I will say the same thing that I say every meetings to the RCMP representative. You're welcome to stay for the balance of the meeting, but I'm convinced you probably have better things to do. Once again, you're welcome to stay with us. That being said, we will continue with the meeting with the inquiries by council members for the Kodiak Regional RCMP representative for the members of council. Do you have any questions for Inspector Volet? Mrs. Godbout, in the Rotary Park recently, there's a lot of young who played things, maintain quiet, or do you have any requests? Is everything going smoothly in the Rotary Park? Thank you, members of council and your worship. To answer the question, there's been events this summer, incidents with youth, and there was something on social media where a lady was saying that youth were following her on bicycle. As soon as we received a complaint, we made sure to be more visible in the area. Certain evening, there's no one in town, but recently I haven't heard too much. To tell the truth, the school has reopened. Maybe we can limit ourselves to 2 nights only. Some youth are going around the community, but it was an isolated case as far as we're concerned. Thank you. Someone else? Mr. Brideau. Your worship. Monsieur Jolette, is it? Jolette. I'm aware that recently there there's been a car theft in my area. I used to complain about the speed, people who don't make their stop, and they have a modified muffler. Is this something that happens? Is there a network that is being created? It was a quiet area, but all of a sudden, the theft of a car in the middle of the night. So there's nothing there. You brought up two good points because to answer your regular comments on the question of silence muffler, we call it minute minimum, is something we've done all over New Brunswick, Bathurst, Hamilton. We used to do it often. You may have noticed that there was a release last week where six provincial police were on the traffic. They came to work one full day in the Greater Mountain Review in Dieppe, and we've had operation all over the place. We noticed 20 vehicles. They would target a car that were troubled, cars that would make more noise than they're supposed to make. And I think it was 75 fines were issued. And we target the cars that we think are creating the most problems. To answer your question, though, there's no region in the Greater Moncton that is not included because we're not an exception to the theft. The catalytic carburetor, there's almost 100 theft of that case because the material inside is worth a lot of money, can be traded easily because there's no serial number. It's not only a problem in this area, it's all over New Brunswick and all over the world. At present time, the crime division is is looking into it, especially at night, that the people focus or target a car that are parked. And we put an emphasis to try and catch the people involved, but it's very difficult to do something after the fact. So that's what we're working on. A lot of work, a lot of monitoring, a lot of surveillance, and it's a little more discreet at night. Thank you. Thank you. Other questions, comments? So the ball is in your yard. You have something to add? What I wanted to say is, as I said last week, we had an operation that was myself and the superintendent. We will put pressure on the province, on the J division and the headquarters to have that team to come here on a more regular basis and to try and look at the problem that exists traffic wise. It will not all be at the same place. It won't be the same problem. We'll continue to invite them because they are specialists in the field. And want to try and strengthen this. And it's good for the citizens to complain, to tell us where the problems are, and what the problems are. And we want the operation to be 100% visible. Thank you very much. And good evening. Did we receive any questions by the members of the public at large? Nothing? Mr. Simard? No? Okay, thank you. So now the adoption of the minutes. First of all, with the regular council meeting held on August the 9th, 2021, for a motion. Mrs. Boudreau moves.
Alors, proposé par Madame Boudreau.
Moved by Mrs. Boudreau that we accept the minutes of August the 9th, seconded by Councillor Thibodeau on the question. No question? All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded nay. Carried as presented. Now, for the special council meeting held on August the 23rd, 2021, moved by Councillor Turgeon-Roy, seconded by Councillor Brideau. On the question. No question. All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded nay. Carried as presented. 10.1 Finance. Mr. Melanson. Your Worship, first report, I will ask our treasurer to explain this file, the nature and the information that are more complete than what I have. If I may, Mr. Terrio, please make the presentation. Good evening, members of council. Essentially, what you have in front of you today is not a new loan. It's one that borrowing in 211, and that is renewable after 10 years. So it's a renewal that varies between 5 and 15 years. So you had until 25 years. Essentially, what we're proposing is we have three options. We could pay cash, so not refinance anything. We can remain status quo, or we can amend the timetable. We bring it forward to save some money, and it would not damage the budget. So the loan that we refinance over 5 years, we refinance them. Those are 15 years. We bring them down to 10 years. So we save it 5 years of a period, which allow us to save, to do some economy. It doesn't bother the budget by not renewing the 5 years. The surplus that we expect to have in 2021 make it such that it frees some money for 2022, that make it that it allows us to pay a little bit more on our loan for 15 years by bringing it to 10 years. And this is what we're proposing tonight. Thank you for the reading of the resolution. Before we go on with the question, for the reading, Monsieur Lanteigne, that council authorize the clerk, the treasurer, or the mayor to issue and sell the New Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation, the municipality of Dieppe debenture in the amount of $2,726,000 on such condition as recommended by the corporation, and further authorize that the municipality of Dieppe agrees to issue post-dated checks payable to the New Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation as and when They are requested for payment, principal, and interest charges on said debenture. I so move, Your Worship. Moved by Councillor Lanteigne, seconded by Councillor Brideau. On the question. Question, Mrs. Godbout. Mr. Terrio, one of the option, your explanation was good, is one of the scenario. If I understand that we give us the option of having more money, less money to pay later on because we're going to reimburse the loan faster. Why that approach? While we would have other project, why pay the debt now and maybe put off till tomorrow, till further later on projects that we may have? Well, in our forecast, we try as much as possible the financial plan. I, I've talked a lot about the financial plan. One of the optic is to have loan 5 million per year as much as possible. We try to cap the loan as much as we can. In this case, you're right. It's money that we take immediately and we use it for projects that we could undertake, but we did not even receive the money, the order of 1.3 million for COVID that we will use for the year 2022. It allow us to save money and we receive money that we did not expect and we can use it to pay capital when we present these capital loan for newcomers like myself. We are administering a budget of which we were not part and parcel of adopting it. So it's a challenge for us. But for me, when I look at it, I said, am I limiting the amount of money that can have an influence or can influence the kind of projects? Is there less money that would be available in the future because of what we're doing? Because one of the option is a cash money. Today we take this money, we don't finance that month, but we keep the same amount that would be available in the future. Yes, that's what is being proposed. Yeah, that's it. So we use the 303,000 approximately surplus of 2021 to pay the 5 year loan. And we must say also that, how can I say it? From year to year, there's a bit of surplus in salary. That money, we put it aside in the reserve for future projects. We have a certain flexibility. We take advantage of being able to save on the interest for future years. Thank you. Thank you. Other question? If not, all those in favor say aye. Contrary minded, nay. Carried as presented. Next item, 10.1.2, an amendment of the 5 year capital investment plan for the Canada Community Building Fund. It's a new word to replace the gas tax that the federal government had implemented 2005. Phase 1 and 2 is completed with that federal initiative. So we have to submit a 5 year plan on the project that meet the admissibility criteria and additional information. We receive $1,750,000 more. The amount was double for all municipalities in Canada. So it was an additional contribution to stimulate the economy and the infrastructure project. So following that new information and the renewal of that program, we have a program that is presented to you tonight. The program is as follows. The program of asphalt preservation for the 2022 and 2023 added to phase 2 of the reconstruction of Melanson Road, the reconstruction of Burke Road, that is done in 2021 and not over 2 years. So it's a change added of the bridge on Lorette and the reconstruction of Emmanuel Street for the year 2023. So this is the option that we are proposing for that program. It's for the adoption and submit that plan to the federal government afterwards for your approval. Thank you. For the reading of the resolution, Mr. Jean-Roy.
Merci, Monsieur le maire.
Your worship,
Nous
I
proposons que le
move
conseil
that council
fasse
accept
adopter
the
des
modified
resolutions
version of the
relativement aux
2019-2023
actions
five-year
budgétaires
capital
planifiées
investment
en
plan
2030 ou
dated
2031
August the
dans les
30th,
conditions
2021 for the
spécifiques
Canada
définies
Community
par les
Building
articles
Fund
19 et
Administrative
21
Agreement,
de son
formerly known
constitution.
as the Gas Tax Fund.
Monsieur le
I
maire.
so move, your worship. Moved by Councillor Turgeon-Roy, seconded by Councillor Gaudet. On the question. No other question. All those in favor say aye. Contrary-minded, nay. The motion is carried as presented. It brings us to 10.2.1. So, since the spring, we have the Francophone Immigrant Receptive Office, known as CAFI, located in Dieppe since the beginning of spring. We are asked to have a representative from the council, the municipal council, on their board of directors. To these end, you've had a follow up with the members around the table, and the nomination is a recommendation and approval of council tonight for the reading of Monsieur Thibodeau. Thank you. That council appoint Councillor Corinne Godbout on the board of directors of the Centre d'accueil et d'accompagnement francophone des immigrants du Sud, CAFI, for a term ending June the 12th, 2023. I so move, your worship. Moved by Councillor Thibodeau, seconded by Councillor Turgeon-Roy. On the question. No question, but a comment from me. I think it's important that it be Councillor Godbout done being because of the relationship also with our friends from Magma. So we will have a representative with both organizations. All those in favor say aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Carried as presented. Next item, operation. Yes, we talk about snow removal. We have to think ahead. It's coming. There's still some time before summer ends to assure the good service from our snow removal department, a private contractor who accompanies the whole undertaking for snow removal following a tender. Virtual construction is the one that is recommended with an hourly rate of 237.50 an hour. This is what the representative is recommending. It will last 6 years with an increase of 2% per year. And it's for recommendation to the council. And during the next meetings, the staff will present a plan for snow removal for that street, the sidewalk that will be part of a presentation in October. We'll wait until we're closer to the snow time. But for tonight, it's for approval of the virtual market. For the reading of the resolution, Ms. Boudreau.
Que le conseil
That
adjuge
council
le
award the
marché du
tender
snow
for the project
removal
entitled
au
Municipal Street Snow
gestionnaire
Removal
le moins
to the
dispendieux,
lowest
soit Birch Hill
bidder, Birch Hill
Construction
Construction
au
Limited,
taux
at the
horaire
estimated
estimé
hourly
de
rate of $237.50
TVH
plus
recevable
HST, and
selon les
authorize
élevés
this
sur le
expenditure be defrayed from account number
budget
1-2-35-65-2650,
budget de fonction
general
générale
operating budget, snow
contrat de
removal.
voisinage. Je propose.
I so move. Moved by Councillor Boudreau, seconded by Councillor Lanteigne. On the question. No question. All those in favor say aye. Contrary-minded, nay. The motion is carried as presented. This brings us to bylaw C-2. I will ask my colleague, Mr. Simard, to do the summary. Yes, essentially, the city of Dieppe with the present version of C2. There are elements that we don't follow exactly, elements that are not standardized. So essentially, what we do with the update that we're presenting today is that we change. We amend somewhat the definition of residential habitat, and from now on, we will collect the garbage only where there's access for the public road. We'll try to avoid private road as much as possible to avoid having to get permission and whatnot. So that's the amendment we're making. The effect of that is we check the effect of the change that we are proposing. Essentially, is the status quo everywhere except three places where there's a private road. And what we accept as a private road, what we've accepted to do is to ask a discharge of responsibility to be able to continue to use it. There's only one place. There's a block of five houses, row houses. We have to go through the public road where we will stop picking up the garbage. There's only one place. We will contact them. We don't have to stop overnight. There will be a delay, and we'll talk with the people from public work. It's an area where we should never have gone, even in with the present reading. That's something we have to correct. So when the new version will be adopted, technically we'll respect it in its integrity. It might be a good idea to discuss it with the counselor who represents the region, because as soon as we undertake discussion with the citizen, we know what will happen. The phone will ring off the hook. It happens. They call me sometimes. Thank you for the reading of the resolution. First reading by title only. Mr. Brideau, sorry, Your Worship, for the first reading by law relating to the collection and disposal of waste in the city of Dieppe, C2 2021. I so move it. First reading. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Brideau. In the first reading by title only and seconded by Councillor Gaudet. On the question. No question?
Oui,
Madame Boudreau.
dans la
Yes.
section du tri des déchets, est-ce qu'on a déjà
In the,
décidé de
in the
savoir s'il y
triage
aurait
of a garbage screening of, did we
est-ce qu'il y aurait
discuss,
moyen de peut-être
is there a mean
afficher les
to
prix ou qu'est-ce que ça
impose some
coûterait d'avoir
prices or
les
costs?
prix dans les immeubles
What
d'habitation?
would it involve to uh, impose the triage from the people from there? We work with a committee from the three communities, and there's a creation of a regional commission from Region 7. We have an initiative which has been for a few years an apartment block. Uh, the price per ton is increased on an annual basis. We raise this issue with the staff, and it will be bring the
Avec
next meeting.
l'augmentation des
With the
immeubles
increase
d'habitation, pensez-vous
of
qu'il faudrait qu'on
housing is
considère
something that
un
we should
dossier comme ça?
consider. We should think about it. Yes. Well, we've started to increase the rate for a few years now for these buildings, by the way. The intention is to increase it to a point where it becomes more equitable for them to do the screening in the proper way and the way it should be done. So it's been at least 3 years that we have started because we're part of the regional commission, but we've started to increase the cost or the price. And it has arrived at a balance without causing a huge problem with all these people. So thank you for raising that issue. If there's no other question, sorry, Mr. Thibodeau. Simply a comment. There a few citizens have approached me for the same issue, and I told them that the initiative is 360. They were very happy that something was being done. They were hoping that it will come to an end as soon as possible. Thank you for those comments. Resolution that been moved by Councillor Brideau and seconded by Councillor Gaudet. All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded nay. Carried as presented. Now, for the second reading of the same bylaw, since you've had the practice, Monsieur Brideau, do the second reading. Bylaw C2 2021, a bylaw relating to the collection and disposal of waste in the city of Dieppe. I move it in second reading, Your Worship. Moved by second reading by Councillor Brideau, seconded by Councillor, sorry, Councillor Gaudet. On the question, a second time, the question, all those in favor say aye. Contrary minded nay. Carried as presented. Item 12, motion of notice of motion, none. Number 13, inquiries and announcement by the members of council. So let's begin. Let's start with Mr. Gaudet. Number first. Thank you, Worship. I only have one thing to talk about Saturday. I found it very interesting. We went with expansion yet to see the projects and the new projects that will be started. Just to say that the city is growing. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Mrs. Boudreau. Madame de Boudy is not with us, so yeah.
Merci, Monsieur le maire.
Thank you,
Les
Worship.
artistes se préparent à remonter sur la scène.
The artists
Nous
are
sommes très
preparing
attentifs
to
à
go on the
chaque
scene,
diverses
more and
épreuves
more
et à chaque
present
défi.
after the
J'ai
hard
assisté
time we've
à la
had. I
première
attended
réunion le 2
a first
septembre
meeting on
avec le
September the
représentant
2nd
de la ville
as
de Dieppe
representative of
sur
the
le
city
conseil
of Dieppe
d'administration du
on the
théâtre
board of
Ville.
directors
Alors,
of the
j'en suis très
Capitol
fière
Theater. I'm
de
very
pouvoir
proud
témoigner
and
moi-même
for
de
having
l'excellence qui a fait
witnessed
notre
the
communauté
excellent
lors de mon parcours
work in that
universitaire
community
et
during my
sans oublier les
university
performances et les
stay as
événements
a
de la
parent
ville
and a
artistique.
member of the
Le
artistic
théâtre vient
community.
juste
The
de
theater
faire le lancement jeudi
has
dernier de la
just
première édition de
launched the program
Multiculturalité Montréal. Et alors,
2021-2022
pour
last week.
une
And once
diversité
again,
de spectacles
with
et
diversity
d'exhibitions
of show
très, très
exhibition that
diversifiées,
meet the
et notamment pour nos
diversity
trois villes.
needs that we find in
Grand
our
succès
three
cette année, la
cities. A
participation
success
des
this year was
étudiants
the
dans
participation
les
of
différents
the
programmes
youth
en ligne
in the
et
different
l'adaptation
program online and in
de
person
l'Académie
that were
nationale
offered
du factuel.
by the
Vraiment, je leur
Academy of the
souhaite une bonne
Capital,
continuité
and I
au
wish them
niveau qui
a
commence
good
demain
entrance
soir.
in the first courses that will
D'ailleurs, les
begin tomorrow
conseillers et
night.
le maire
The counselors
viendront
and the worship are
visiter le
invited to
factuel en
visit the
rencontrant le
Capitol
maire du
by the
conseil
founding member of the
d'administration,
board of directors,
Win Pierce, et le
Win
directeur
Pierce, and
général
the
du
executive
factuel,
director, Kim
qui organisera
Lainsworth,
en octobre
that
une
will be
exposition
held in
scientifique
October. You
très
can
approfondie et en savoir
have
plus sur
a
les différents
good visit and learn
infrastructures
more about the
bâties
infrastructure projects that were
anciennement
realized
bâties.
during the last
Et la
28 years.
population est invitée à
And population
l'AGM
is invited
qui
at
aura
the
lieu
AGM that will be
le
held
7 octobre
on
à
October the 7th
13h30
at
dans la salle
4:30
Impress.
in the Empress
J'ai
Room.
aussi assisté avec
I also
le maire au
attended with the
lancement et à la
worship
programmation
to
du
the
Centre culturel
launching
de
of the
Dieppe
program of the Art
et
Center
avec
of
une
Dieppe,
programmation
and
vivante
it's
et
a
variée de
full
discussions académiques
program
très
that
pertinentes
meets very
avec les
well
gens de chez nous,
to the
sans
people
oublier
of home without
les
forgetting
exhibitions d'artistes
the
visuels,
exhibition of
la
visual
répétition
artists,
et les
improvisation,
sorties
plays
de
to
spectacles.
theater, and all kinds of art.
À notre
wing to Bo FM that has more 90.3 for always doing more, and a wing to Malefev, who has also unveiled the program last week. Brief, I invite you to purchase tickets in the room that brings our artists back on the theater after a year of resilience. I purchased a few tickets already, and bravo to all these people who are working very hard to present variety of show that will shoulder our artists in these difficult times. Thank you to the employees, the members of Expansion Dieppe, as well as our Kodiak Transpo driver who made us installation as we saw it last Saturday. And bravo to the organizers of the Fête de l'Acadie for the Tatamar, the show that we attended, the nice remember of the 75 anniversary of Radio Dieppe. And thank you to Samuel Leger from Communication as representative of the city of Dieppe during the Pride Parade. Corinne, Josée, and I plan to go back with more counselors and much greater to finish. Thank you to the former counselors who left us, who gave us a chance to live an enriching situation. I'm very proud of my life. Thank you, Monsieur Brideau, Your Worship. Well, I only have one large message to everybody listening to us tonight. We've had a report on what is happening by the RCMP, the protection service we're getting from the RCMP. Our schools just open. Our students are in the street, are on the sidewalk, are in the schools. Please slow down, drive carefully to avoid accidents that could happen. This is the message that I'm trying to put through. For many years, we receive a lot of complaint, and I receive acknowledgement of the call that I receive each week, and I always answer the same thing. We're working on the issue. We are trying to improve the situation with time. So presently, we're trying with the RCMP to find a mean, and as well as the city of Dieppe will involve itself with projects that are forthcoming. So take care of our children, take care of our streets. We don't have to speed. We can make it to work conscientiously in all and safely. Thank you. Thank you, Monsieur Brideau. Mr. Thibodeau. Thank you, Worship. I had nothing to add tonight. Thank you. Mrs. Turgeon-Roy. Thank you. Well, same here. I will follow Councillor Brideau. First of all, I would like to talk about the excessive speed in the city of Dieppe. Every day I receive complaints from the members of the public, and as we all know, for several years, traffic speed is a problem. We hope to get a cooperation from the police force. Nevertheless, we are the drivers of our vehicle. We choose to follow or not the highway code. I encourage the citizens to become aware of the campaign against speeding. You will see on social media or on the billboard in the city, considering that the city has the priority of having a safety and happy driving to our citizens. Let's use that campaign and let's share with our friends, our neighbors, our family the intentions of respecting the speed limit. Safety on our road is the responsibility of one and all, and it's up to us to share that message. So that's my small message. Please, I want to continue what Councilor Brito said on another subject. I represented the council recently at the opening of the dog park. That project was realized thanks to the participation budget of 2017. I'd like to thank the volunteer who took time or gave some time for the building and the development of that project. I invite the citizens with their dog, their small tutu, to take advantage of that installation. It's worthwhile to go and see it. I encourage you to use it, that nice park. Also, on September 29th, will be held the expansion Dieppe under the theme Our Business, Our Pride. During that evening, four prizes will be given business by excellence, business, emerging business, and my choice business. So I would like to take advantage, congratulate finalists Café Vito, Cara Denick, and as Concrete, uh, the imaging, Dr. Soria, uh, and Big Pete Fitness and Side Pool. There's still time to get a ticket by visiting Expansion Dieppe. And finally, I want to wish a good return to the teachers and the students, to the schools of the area, and those who went back to college, the community college of Dieppe and university. A special thing to the students who work for the city this summer, and I want to wish them good luck. Thank them for their commitment. Thank you. This is Godbout. So first of all, I would like to thank the council for the mandate they've granted me with CAFE. That organization is very important for the development, and I'll be happy to get that organization better known and to help them reach their objective. Thank you for that nomination. The MAG has come out. It presents the council to the population. Uh, I hope that in the next few weeks I can meet more and more citizens and that they come to us. They will come to know us because we didn't have a chance to see them during the campaign because we could not go door to door. We encourage the people to come and see us. I hope in the years to come we'll have more and more opportunity. The city can organize occasions where they can meet us. There's always the meetings that are public. I invite them to come and ask questions and to meet with us. We've had the opportunity on the weekend to visit different installation, and that is that assure a higher quality of life for our citizens. The work seems to be well done, and we want to make sure that everything is done properly. We took the opportunity to signal the increased importance to the need of toilets that are more healthy. Everything is not in accordance with the city. People with special needs, we should be able to have an outside day, live together, and not worry that we will have nice toilets. We want to encourage the use of our infrastructure, something that we could probably aim for in the years to come. We can give more of what we've done in the past. So I will certainly uh, challenge people to have proposal in the next budget and probably improve for our families and for our users. And I hear people who would like to participate, but they're limited. A parent who wants to see her son play baseball, but anybody who has problems or whatever need, this does not allow us to fully participate if we don't have full-fledged toilet. But we look everything else is going. It's the small things we can change. We can remove the problems. I encourage people to look at it. Congratulations for the Harvest Festival. I don't know if some citizens had a chance to participate. I was able to use Papa Jojo's at the market last week. We have an economy that is good with local products that is impressing. It's very good to let's support our local product. I won't repeat the comments by Councillor Boudreau. That is hard to follow. You spoke very well of Lakadi, the presence during the Pride Parade and everything. I won't repeat, but anyway, I want to share your comments finally? Thank you to the former councillors and infinite thank as councillors. There are great projects to be completed. Have confidence in us to bring these projects to a happy end. Well, I was looking at the four former members tonight, and each former member had an impact in one way or the other in my choice of presenting to the council. I thank you not only for what you've done during the years you were here, but also for your contribution to the relief. And I hope that you are continuing to have your vision in what we will be doing. Thank you very much to the former members. Thank you just in time. Mr. Lanteigne,
Merci, Monsieur le maire.
thank you, Your
Je
Worship.
serai bref.
I'll be
Donc,
brief.
premièrement,
First
j'aimerais
of all, I would
souhaiter
like
bonne
to
année scolaire à tous
wish
les
a
étudiants et
good
enseignants intervenants
the
et aussi à
students a
l'ACMP
good entrance to school. And as Councillor Brideau said
Soyez
so
vigilants
well,
sur les routes.
be
Il
vigilant
va y
on the
avoir beaucoup
highway. There's a
d'enfants
lot
qui
of
attendent le
young
bus
children
qui
on the
s'en vont
side
vers
of
la
the
maison.
road waiting for the
Et ne
bus.
conduisez pas. Donc,
Talking about speed
soyez
once
très
again.
vigilants.
Be very
Merci. Et
vigilant, very careful.
sincèrement,
And
je
again, I would
souhaite
like to
pour
take a
ces
second to congratulate
athlètes
our
qui
Paralympic
ont réalisé
athlete
des performances
that's
exceptionnelles à
had
Tokyo. Ils ont
excellent
travaillé
performance in
sans stress.
Tokyo, Camille Frenet,
C'est très
among
important.
others from Dieppe,
Et
and
Daniel Doris,
Daniel
qui est
Doris,
de Ville
who
voisine de
is
Moncton,
from our
félicitations.
neighboring city of Moncton.
On est extrêmement
Congratulations.
fiers de vous et de
We're
votre
extremely proud of
représentation
you. You
dans la
represent
région respective.
well your respective
Puis,
area.
merci aussi
And
à
thank
la
you
VRC
also to the
pour cette
RCMP for the
initiative.
work they're doing.
On aime de se plaindre,
We like to complain for the
mais
speed
décidez
and
d'appliquer
whatnot.
que chacun
It's a
d'entre nous ont
responsibility
une
that
part.
each one of us
Et
must
merci
take upon
pour le
ourselves. But thank
travail
you
que vous
very much for the
accomplissez
work
auprès de la sécurité
and
de nos citoyens.
continue to look after
Finalement,
the security of our
je
citizens.
voudrais
Finally,
féliciter
I would like to
sincèrement
congratulate and
notre
thank
ancien conseiller.
sincerely our
Merci
former
beaucoup de
counselors. Thank
votre
you very much
contribution
for your
pendant toutes ces années.
contribution during
Et
all those
soyez
years.
rassurés que nous
And you
allons
can be
travailler avec
sure that
fierté
we
et
will take the
continuerons à
flame
bâtir une
with
belle
pride
municipalité
and we will make
avec
our
de
municipality go
beaux
forward with
investissements
all the
culturels.
nice projects
Donc,
that
merci
exist.
beaucoup.
So thank you very much. Good evening.
Merci, M.
Thank
Lanteigne.
you, Monsieur Lantaigne.
Moi, j'ai plus rien à dire.
I
Alors,
have nothing to say
autre que juste
other
terminer,
than
encore une fois,
to
remercier les membres,
conclude to
les anciens
thank
membres du conseil
the
municipal,
former
les anciens
members of the municipal
collègues
council,
politiques,
and I can't say it
tous les
better
remplaçants, remplaçantes
than those
aussi.
who replace you have said.
Pour nous, la
It's
continuité est importante.
continuity is important,
Il faut toujours
but also we must always
vigilant pour voir
turn
les
new
opportunités qui
stones to
s'en
see
viennent
where the opportunities
pour
are
sortir de
for
ça.
long term in the future of our
C'est
community. Good
c'est juste
evening,
ça. Merci.
everybody. On that being said, good night.